So one of the questions that you're going to have is, why should I go to graduate school? Do you know why you want to go to graduate school? Okay. So what we're going to go over real briefly is why attend graduate school, is it right for you, what the right timing would be, how to prepare for it. You're doing exactly the right thing right now by coming to workshops that tell you how, first of all, how to prepare for applying for graduate school. And then how to decide what school or program is the best, some of the general requirements for admission, and then a lot of questions we get is how are offers of admission determined for graduate school. So, here's some not so good reasons. Do any of you fall into any of those not so good reason categories? You just like being a student and you don't want to leave? Or, you don't know what you want to do, so you want to stay in school? If you don't know what you want to do, go visit Career and Academic Planning, please. Okay? They will help you decide what you want to do with your life and in your career. All right? Or you just don't want to start working yet. Maybe you're in one of those categories. Here's some good reasons. The job or profession you seek requires an advanced degree, and many, many professions now are getting to that place. You're interested in having more in-depth knowledge of a specific academic discipline, or maybe you want to change career direction from your undergraduate studies without getting another undergraduate major. Sometimes you can do that. Some of you might be in fifth-year programs. Is anybody in that? If you're in a program that there's a fifth-year program to get your graduate degree, you might be, if you are in education right now, you want to go on to get your master's. If you're thinking about education as a field, there are fifth-year programs at JMU for that. There's a fifth-year program in accounting, if anybody's in accounting. There's a fifth-year program in the Masters of Public Administration program, too. So some of you can go straight from here and go into graduate school at JMU. If you do that, you'll be a double duke. I'm a double duke. It's a great place to be. Okay. When you're thinking about going into graduate school, so let's just say you're at that point now where you're thinking about doing that, and so your next question is, when should I go into graduate school? Well, if you were in one of those fifth-year programs, it's probably pretty clear you probably just need to go straight on into graduate school. But, so some of the advantages of doing that is that you're a student, you're used to doing what you need to do as a student, you're used to studying. Although I will tell you that it's very different, the study environment is very different in graduate school than it is in undergrad. It's a lot more work, it's a lot more reading. I know that's hard for you to believe sometimes, but it really is. You've got good study and test-taking skills, hopefully. You might not have major family or home or work commitments, and of course some career paths require that you go straight into that degree program. Here's some disadvantages. If you're feeling burned out right after your undergraduate career, you might want to take some time just to work in the field that you think you might want to work in. If you have little experience, some programs require work experience. The physician assistance program requires work experience. The MBA program requires work experience. And that's not just with JMU, but also with many other graduate programs in other schools. So you might want to do that as well. Some people just take time off and, for example, they'll work 2 years in the Peace Corps, or they'll work 2 years in AmeriCorps, or they'll work in the field where they feel like they want to be, and then they go on into their graduate program. The disadvantage to doing that is, you could possibly be holding your earning potential on hold for 2 years, but really it's worth the investment. If you're not sure what you want to do yet, and you need that extra experience, that's the thing to do. The advantage is that you clarify your career goals when you get that work experience. So that's always a tremendous advantage for you. When you go into a field and you have a little work experience and you come into a graduate program, you have a lot more to gain from that program just because of the experience that you've had, and you have a lot more to contribute to it. Graduate programs are going to want to know what you can contribute to the program too, not just what you're going to get out of it. So you can earn some money to help you pay for school. You can gain experiences which will enhance your competitiveness on the application, and especially if your undergraduate program wasn't all that stellar, you could get some work experience to build that up. And another disadvantage, a disadvantage might be when you leave school and then you come back later, you might feel rusty in your study skills, so you might feel a little, uncomfortable about that. You might have additional responsibilities, and that's very common. We have a lot of graduate students who have families, they have work responsibilities, they have home responsibilities. So that's something else that you have to balance as a graduate student then too. Not a tremendous disadvantage as long as you have good time management skills. Who's got good time management skills? That's something you're going to have to work on, because that's a challenge for all of us.